Okay, we've got the recording started. Welcome, everybody, to another round of Clayton's Classroom. Happy New Year. Tonight, we've got Clayton Nolte, inspired inventor of the structured water unit manufactured by our company, on the phone. And he's available to answer all your questions tonight. So what you'll want to do is, if you have a question for Clayton tonight and you want to get in the queue, what you do is just hit *2 on your phone's keypad, and your hand will be raised, and they're in sequence of numbers, and I'll call on you as your number comes up. I'll unmute the phone and then just let you know to go ahead. So welcome, Clayton. How are you tonight?
Like I said, I always start these calls thinking I know nothing.
And then you realize you do. Okay, well, we got some people with their hands up whenever you're ready, so just let me know unless there's something you want to start off with tonight. You're ready to go. All right, let's go. Our first caller tonight from Seattle, Washington, Carol or Caroli. I got you unmuted. Go ahead.
Hey, wow, I'm first. That's cool. Hey, thanks for having these calls. I've been listening to them repeatedly, and they're just wonderful. I keep learning more and more. So anyway, I have a couple of different questions. The first one being, I was talking with someone who has well water, and he was wondering what would happen with the well water going through the unit. How does that change it or structure it in different than tap water, say?
It'll make it healthy.
Okay.
Very healthy. And the unique thing about, and you have to remember, well water is groundwater, so it's underneath. Well, let's say it's down in the ground, and probably been stored there for a long period of time. Groundwater really needs to breathe for a while after it comes up to the surface, and structuring aids that immeasurably, because when structuring happens, it releases a significant amount of oxygen, and the oxygen helps the water become truly water. And not only that, any toxicity or, let's say, conditions that are in the ground, the water has absorbed or, let's say, taken into itself, and the structuring will negate all the things that are detrimental to life or toxic in the toxic form. And there's many other things that are kind of in between, in the gray area. It also brings them into alignment with your health and well-being. So,
okay.
But the really big thing is with groundwater you have you don't have to deal with fluoride generally and chlorine generally. Because that's something, unless you're in an area where fluoride is pre-existing in the ground, or it's there through mining activity a lot of times. But needless to say, when you structure it, all that goes away.
Okay,
At least the energetic properties go away. So.
Okay, I will share that with him. There's just one part of the city where they're still on well water, and so just kind of curious about that.
The other thing about well water, an opportunity for him, if he puts this on a well, is we do have a device that you can attach to the output of the unit, which will drop a small amount of water. If he has access to the wellhead, we have a device that you can actually make the groundwater, or the water in the well or the groundwater, healthy before it's pumped out of the ground.
Wow.
So everybody or every every place that groundwater is being utilized will have healthier water.
Fantastic. Wow. We need to get more of those units out there. And would the same be for, like, streams if you put some structured water into just some
Absolutely.
Absolutely.
That's one of the, you're talking about drains down the drain? Is that what you're asking?
Down the drain, or I'm thinking there's a lovely little stream that goes through a park by my house.
Yep, absolutely.
Mm-hmm.
Absolutely. If you can add, and we have people talking about occasionally about pulling a unit behind a boat, where you're changing the water. If you have water moving, there's always ways, innovative ways of directing the water. You could put a funnel on the end of a garden unit, for instance, and suspend it in the water. If the water's moving, then it would push the water through that, and it would change all the water in the river downstream for long distances. Yes.
Wow. Yes. That is so cool. We need to get everybody out there with a unit. Go to their favorite lake, go to their favorite river. Be awesome.
There you go.
Yeah. So the other question that I had, and I think you probably already answered it actually, but I have a friend who ended up in the ICU for a couple of weeks because she contracted E. coli that turned into a life-threatening condition, the same strain that all those people died from the Jack in the Box, who got really super sick from the Jack in the Box strain. But it was that antibiotics that actually kicked off the syndrome that she acquired. And I was wondering if she had gotten the water right as the symptoms were originally flaring up, could that might have changed things, the outcome for her?
Absolutely.
Oh, man.
Absolutely. And we have people that have done tests on E. coli, the number of passes that it would take through a portable unit, but it definitely does address the amount of pathogens in the water every time that you pass it through a portable, you increase the energy that's in the water. And as that energy increases, the likelihood of anything being in error in the water disappears more and more and more. And we hear and have people that have actually went to biology labs that do petri dish testing, and did that direct. In fact, L'Oreal probably has that. I probably is on the website. I'm not sure, but you can ask her. And it's very very dramatic, the change that comes about for contaminated water.
Wow.
And there's a plus. If you are in doubt about water and you run it through a portable, an additional advantage that you have is you have the aspect of prayer, or the aspect of imprinting a greater positive, let's say, imprint on the water. And I'll guarantee you this: the more that you can give the water from yourself, that adds and stays with the water wherever it goes. So as you add a blessing, that blessing stays and is made instantly available at the cellular level of everything that the water comes in contact with.
Oh, I totally get that. It feels that is so true. I've just noticed that in using the water and playing with the water and all of that. It just is talking to me, and I feel like I am imprinting it with things to blessings and everything it touches, it just transforms. It's amazing. So I'm really, really loving it. And thank you so much for creating this incredible product for transformation of the planet. It's fantastic.
Yeah, there's so much more. You know, I mean, we can talk about a lot of things, but I tell you, I mean, you being out there and all the distributors we have and all of the clients that the distributors have, you know, there's so much more for us to learn, you know, and it's just being present with it, and seeing and exploring all the different possibilities that you can think of, you know. I mean, and we hear on these calls and on L'Oreal's calls when they even on the business side of, they have business calls. I mean, there's so much more for us to know, and you know, me as science and having the vision to invent or to bring forth these technologies, you know, we can only do so much. So a lot of the innovative, let's say, lessons will come through people like yourself and others who have a passion to know, a passion to pursue an answer.
Oh,
and so we are. So here we are. We're opening the doorway to an unlimited possibility of health, well-being, and like I said, this is just a tool to help all of mankind find their lot in life, let's say.
Yeah.
Because, yes.
Yeah, so thrilled to support the vision. I totally get what you're saying. And everybody needs water on this planet, and it's the medium, you know, to deliver the message.
So why not? That's right. Exactly.
So thank you very much. I might have another question later, but I'll give other people a chance to chime in and ask.
Okay.
So thank you so much. Okay, bye-bye.
Thank you, Caroline. Okay, we do have another caller that has a question. Before I go to that next caller, those of you who have just joined this call, if you have a question for Clayton tonight, you just hit *2 on your keypad on your phone, and that'll put you into the queue, and we'll call on you when your number comes up. Okay, our next caller is from Dallas, Texas. Angela and Heck, go ahead.
Yeah, this is Richard from Dallas. I had 3 quick questions for Clayton, a fish question, a salt question, and a concrete question. So the fish question is, have you gotten any feedback from aquaponics people on the reaction of fish to being swimming in water that's been structured with using your devices?
You know,
go ahead.
Go ahead. You know, no, I was just going to say, early on when I first brought this out, I had lots of people talk about the aquaponics and structured water. And one of the first reactions of adding structured water to a large tank, in most places the water is high in virtually all water has calcium in it, and the calcium. And when you have a lot of, let's say, adverse conditions, electromagnetic energy, there's a whole lot of reasons, but the calcium tends to adhere to itself and everything it comes in contact with. In fish tanks, it builds up on the sides, and there are fish that will eat it to a degree, or at least they say they do. But when you add structured water